Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest with us today. Her album's out right now. Miss Jordin Sparks.
Jordin!
Hey,
She's all smiles.
So who you having sex with nowadays?
Oh, man.
Shut up.
Just right into it, like just in.
You know she has the same
Gemini,
boyfriend.
man.
Yeah. Stop it.
Oh, say I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
Tell me, we went through this.
Well, last time I was here, we hadn't said anything.
No, first of all, he's lying because he knows about this all behind the scenes because we spoke about it after that. And you were like, Sage the Gemini got Jordin Sparks?
I don't recall that one.
It was a while
You're
ago.
such
though.
a liar. That's
How did
so
you
funny.
meet Sage?
Last year I put out my mixtape, and we did a song together. And I'd been a fan of his work, and somebody had asked me on Twitter what my favorite song was at the moment, and I had said Red Nose. That's like my favorite. That's been
Like a Red Nose.
that's been my favorite
All
song
right,
for like the
little
past
freaky
couple of years.
Can you shake it like a red nose?
I can, but
Okay.
you're not allowed to see it. So, so then we just through Twitter, which is funny. I didn't slide in his DMs. I was very professional.
Oh, you didn't slide in his DMs? Okay.
I
Do
was
it
just
publicly.
like, hey, do you have a manager or somebody that I can contact for a feature?
Oh,
And
yeah,
he
you went that route to try to get some.
So he sent a phone number but didn't say like who it was, and so I was like, okay, that's probably his number. So I just gave it to Salam Remy, who's my executive
Salam.
producer. Yeah, and then we did the feature, and he came into the studio, and because I had asked him to do some more ad libs, and then that's where we met, and we were friends first, and then it kind of just.
Evolved.
How did it
Hey,
get to that?
round of applause to say the Gemini. He's always meeting girls through his DMs. That's how he met
Shut
Caitlyn.
up.
Stop it,
He
man.
met
Come
Caitlyn
come
on social
stop it.
media too.
Caitlyn? You said Caitlyn.
Whatever the girl name is.
Now, first of all, and you know why I know he's lying? Because I told him about this because I saw Sage the Gemini at the BET Awards, and he came up to me and he said, man, you know who I'm dating, and I'm not supposed to tell you this, but I'm so excited about it.
And well,
Wait,
Matt
I remember
Bones
he
asked
told me.
God.
Right.
Because we were trying.
He was excited. As a matter of fact, I was sitting down eating, and he was outside in the window, and he came inside
Damn, you
just to talk to me about Jordin
Damn,
Sparks.
don't
was-
give him none yet, Jordan.
It
Imagine
was-
what he'll do when you give him
Wait, it
too
was
late.
funny because we were trying to because people were already speculating, and I was like, just
Be cool.
let's just wait for a second. And so then he called me and he was like, babe, he was like, listen, I saw Angela and I know you just sat with her, but I was talking to her and it just slipped. And I was like,
We
"That's
were
okay.
not even talking."
Angela's cool.
Tell
It's super
Sage sit
good.
his excited ass down, man.
He's
Relax.
happy.
Like you've been
so
there before.
excited.
We're in love. It's
He
cool.
was like,
It's
I want to
great.
tell everybody, but
Yeah,
it seemed like you
good.
were the one that wanted to keep it on the low at first, and he was ready to tell the world.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was just like, let's just wait a second because you never know what's going to happen. And plus,
Right.
with all the celebrity stuff, it's like everybody breaks up and they're together and they break up and together. And I was like, let's just wait for a second until we were both comfortable.
You have a
And then-
prenup?
Huh?
You have a
She's
prenup?
not
married,
married,
you bastard.
I mean,
dummy.
there wasn't marriage. Jason Derulo, he still took the call back. I just want to make sure, is there any line
Hey,
that you
he could have that. I didn't want it anyway.
But
so
is there
it's
any
cool.
drawing, like if you give this, you can't give it back, or you can't take it back? Y'all didn't have that conversation?
No, well, because my thing is like, if you're gonna ask for something back, then why would I keep something you want back? It's tainted at that
Right.
point.
Gotcha.
So you can have it back.
I saw you laughing at Jason Derulo's picture when he fell off that them steps too.
What?
He fell down them steps.
You did post that, didn't
I
you?
did.
That wasn't him.
Hey, nobody cares about the truth of the lies and entertainment. That was him.
Well, whatever. Yeah.
You got a hickey too.
No, I don't. I scratched the crap out of my neck last
Okay,
night.
scratched the crap.
No,
off
yeah,
yourself.
she does have hickey because I saw that
No,
you guys
this
were
right here?
you guys were together.
That's a
No.
hickey.
We saw you and Sage and Gemini were
He's
together.
in the Bay Area right now. I
You were
haven't
in your
seen him
happy
2
place.
weeks.
You were in your
You're
happy
close up
place.
with
I
that
haven't
hickey,
seen him in
Jamie.
2 weeks. No, I scratched my neck. I was
Yeah,
so itchy
right.
last night.
That's
That's
his
either
story,
a
sticking
hickey
with it, huh?
or he's choked you and he got a long thumbnail.
That's so rude.
What's wrong with you, Charlotte?
I can't handle you. I
What
just
is
can't.
wrong?
That's what you told him?
No.
So how did y'all get past friends? What was that moment when y'all got past being friends?
It was just kind of one of those things, you know, where we were talking and you could just kind of you feel the energy between you, and it was
Was it an erection? Was it energy or an erection?
it
What's
was
wrong with you?
energy. Thank you very much. And I don't know. It wasn't really a like spoken thing. It
Right.
just kind of we just kissed.
Happened.
And
Do your parents like him?
yes, he's very much like my dad. My dad is like he's all for him.
I bet your dad don't want you dating no more Haitians after Jason.
Shut
Derulo.
up. What are you
not-
talking
Not
about?
really. Not really.
What is Leave the Haitians alone, man.
He said that to you? Like,
No, he didn't. say
That relationship is old and over. She's moved
Yeah,
on.
it's
She's
been
new.
a year.
Yeah.
It's been a year. Let's just. He's
why you
happy.
so-
He moved on.
Why you so dirty in your album cover, boo? What's that
Okay, this is
symbolize?
the thing. This is the thing. So I was trying to figure out how to symbolize right here, right now, and try and be like a woman and strong. And I was like, okay, well, being beautiful in the elements is a way to portray that. So it's earth, wind, fire, and water.
This
See,
was
there
like
you
dirt.
go. All
It
four
is
elements.
Earth.
Good
Earth.
dirt.
And this one was wind, and then fire, and then water.
Now, I saw the New York Daily News compared you to Mariah Carey.
That was the biggest compliment ever.
It depends
Ever.
what Mariah though.
Oh,
Mariah
this
now
chair.
or Mariah back in the day.
I'm gonna hurt my elbow.
Just leave it there.
We'll just leave it.
Don't worry, we getting new chairs.
Okay, listen. So my mom was listening to Mariah when she was pregnant with me, and so I feel like she's just been a part of my life, my entire life. I've listened to her my entire life, so there's a lot of her influence definitely in the way I sing and what I really like to hear. So for somebody to say that is a really big compliment to me.
Did you ever want to get with Nick Cannon after you heard that?
No.
Oh.
No, we're just gonna stop that right
Shut him down.
there. No. No.
All right, so now let's talk about the album a little bit.
Yes.
Okay, Work From Home. You have that song out with B.o.B.
Yes.
So that is you. Explain what that song is about.
So Work From Home, while I was in the studio, I was thinking about, how you get so in love and you're just so excited to be with that person that I was like, well, what if I could get paid for just loving you? That would be so amazing. Like, you come home and we're good and I just love you so much. Not like that. I know what you're thinking.
It's not like you're sleeping with the producer or
No.
somebody.
No. Okay, so paid for loving you is the wrong thing. But if it was like, if that's all I did was
That's my
just
job.
to love you, it's
a
my
housewife.
job to love you.
That's a
Yeah.
housewife.
And so I was trying to kind of like cater to you.
Right.
A little
Got
bit.
you.
Okay.
So that was where the influence came from. And I had been wanting to work with B.o.B for like the past couple of years. And so I was really excited when he was like, yeah, I definitely want to jump on your project. But he recorded it in the studio. Technology, you just put things together. So he did his part and then we put it together.
So you're excited to be a wife soon because I saw that Sage the Gemini calls you his wife already.
He's manifesting.
Oh, he's okay. He's putting it out there.
He's manifesting, yeah, which I think is very sweet, But listen, we're enjoying each other. I'm not in a rush. I think it's a great thing. I don't just date people if I don't see it going anywhere. So, if in a couple of years that happens, that would be great.
Wait, Sage has a kid, right?
He has a daughter. She's
Adorable.
She's so great.
Yeah. I saw that there was some drama too on Twitter, so let's talk about that. Or
Sure.
on Instagram, his ex-girlfriend was trying to say that he was trying to get back together with her.
Caitlyn?
Yeah. No.
Shut up.
No.
It was somebody else. Now, how do you handle when something like that happens? Because they put it out there like that she was DMing you conversations.
Which she didn't.
Which
but
okay, so that never happened.
no. My thing is, usually when stuff like that happens in any kind of context and for any person, usually that person is just trying to get the attention. And so for me, I'm just like, why talk about it?
Right.
It's just giving them the attention that they want. But I'm just, whatever. That was a couple months ago. She tried it.
And he shut it down. He
Yeah.
like shut down his
No.
Instagram.
He got on
Yeah, he was
Instagram.
like,
He was
no.
like, I'm not doing this no more.
not
Yeah,
losing my
he was.
baby.
Yeah, he was like, no, and I was okay, babe. Whatever you want to do is
Jordan
cool.
got that wet.
Oh,
Jordan
my
got that
God.
fire.
Yep.
You delete your whole
Your
Instagram.
whole social media. Not
Outta
just
here.
Instagram, his whole social media.
Jordan, what you sitting on a gold mine?
But you know what, Jordan? I will say that is the right approach because sometimes people do try to break up your relationship, people from the
Yeah.
outside. And you got to stand by your man in a situation like that and believe what he says. And it seemed like he was very sincere in trying
Yeah, for
to
sure.
prove to you, because it has to be hard, because I'm sure you have to still question it. Like, look, where is this coming from? Did you
Yeah.
just let me know? Because you know how we as women be like, just tell me the truth, just be honest.
I asked for sure, and he looked me straight in the eye, and we talked about it, and went through our whole little thing, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna believe you. If we're gonna be together, we have to make sure that we know that our relationship is bigger than what anybody's gonna try and do from the outside. So that's how we handle things.
And then plus when you're all under a microscope, it's going to
Yeah.
always be
Always.
any penis you had back in the day, any vagina he had back in the day is going to rear its ugly head at some point.
Sure, I hope not. Let's just where if
We
there's
don't
wood
want
somewhere, I'm knocking on
penises
it.
rearing their ugly head.
My
Now, you
goodness.
know how
Don't
big-
need that.
So salute to my man Salam Remy. I interviewed Salam this past weekend.
You did.
Yeah, and he was talking about how artists are his biggest muse. They're his biggest inspiration. And he doesn't really work with a lot of people like hands-on like that. He worked with, I think, Amy Winehouse,
Mac Wild.
Mac Wild.
Mac Wild, Jasmine Sullivan, and you.
Yeah, it's really crazy. When we started working together, we were, doing Sparkle, he scored the film. So we were working, trying to figure out if we could do some songs for the soundtrack. And as we started working, you know, it was a different sound for me because we were trying to match it to Sparkle. And then he told me, he was just like, there was something that I heard that I know no one else has really heard yet and that you haven't been able to explore. And I'd always wanted to be able to do more, a little bit R&B, stuff that I grew up listening to. And he just really gave me the opportunity to do that. So when we started working on my personal album, when I went to his house, I didn't realize it like everybody told me who Salaam Remi was and how long he'd been in the game. When I went to his house, I was just like, or the studio, his studio, he has a whole home that's a studio. And every single plaque from the Fugees to Wyclef to Amy to Jennifer Nas, everybody. And I was just like, oh, okay, I see what they meant now. So it's amazing. You know, I feel very honored to have been able to work so hands-on with him. And he's great. He just, you know, he was finally somebody who asked me, well, what do you want to say? What do you want it to sound like? What do you want to do? And I hadn't really been asked that in my career before. So it was really, really nice, and everything kind of cohesively fit together.
What do you mean when you say you haven't been asked that? Is like, has it always been like real robotic for you? Like they want you to talk a certain way, act a certain way?
No, not like that. Huh?
Like, almost like Real Kitty. They had you like a real young
Right.
kitty.
Well, I mean, I was 17
first.
when I won Idol, so my first album, we had to put it out in 3 weeks. So it wasn't like I had ever really experienced putting out a record before. So they were like, okay, here's some songs and choose your favorites from it, which I love the songs that I got to do. No Air is one of my favorite songs still to sing ever.
Why only 3 weeks, though? Why did they give you 3 weeks?
Because the next season of Idol was starting. Sheesh. So it was like, you might want to do this now while everybody remembers that you won before the
just timing wise.
Yeah, it was just a timing thing. So, and also we had done the tour, so fall was coming, and you know, Christmas and all that, wanted to get, you know, all that stuff. So it was really crazy. And then with Battlefield, when I did that album, I got to put a little bit more of myself into it because I got to write a little bit more. But it was still just like, okay, we have this song, we want you to listen to it. And I was like, I don't like that song. And they were like, well, just record it. And I was like, okay, I'll record it, but I'm not putting it on my album. And then it ended up going on my album, and I was just like, ugh. So with this album, I got pretty much 100% creativity. So even the songs that I didn't write, I needed to feel 100%. Right. And Salaam was like, okay.
Was there ever a point in your career, your life when you recorded No Air and you was like, this song makes no sense? Because how can you breathe with no air? You can't.
That's why he's asking.
It's a metaphor.
Yeah. There were a couple of songs that I'm just like, this doesn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense at the time, and sometimes now I can look back and go, okay, that makes a little bit of sense, I guess. But No Air, I get asked that question all the time. Have you figured out how to breathe with no air yet? And I'm like, I haven't heard that one before, guys.
Charlemagne.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about last time I saw you. You said you had auditioned for The Wiz. That was a role you really wanted to get. And I was reading about how now with the success of shows like Empire, they're bringing back a lot more kind of musical TV shows and things like that. Is there anything else on the horizon for you as far as acting and singing?
You know, I'm actually really focused on the album right now. They have cast, well, they've said a few people that they've casted. My girl Amber is playing Ada Pearl in The Wiz. I'm so proud of her.
Amber Rose?
Amber Riley from Glee.
These guys are idiots.
I like Amber. I like Amber Rose too, but no, Amber.
Are you going to
Amber
participate
Riley.
in
the slut walk? I knew he was going to say that.
No. I wish her luck with it though, but I'm not going.
Wish the sluts luck.
Yes.
Yes.
It's an empowering thing for women. It's supposed to be.
What role was you going to play on The Wiz?
I auditioned for Dorothy.
Did you get it? You didn't get it?
I didn't. No. What they wanted to do was I think they wanted to surround like more of an up and coming girl for Dorothy with like a really big cast. So.
You'd have been a big ass Dorothy.
I would have been so tall.
Yes, exactly.
I would have towered over everyone. I would have towered over everybody.
Exactly.
And they would have put those little heels on me. They would have been like flats.
It's like home,
flats.
kitten heels.
Yeah, but it's good. I'm excited, and it was a really fun opportunity to be able to audition for that. But for me right now, I'm really focused on the album, and I've been going on auditions and different things like that. I'm going to get back into classes because recording the album pretty much consumed a lot of my free time. So
it took you 6 years to do this album?
Well,
Jeez.
It's been 6 years since I put out a personal album. I had been working on trying to release something, but it's definitely changed and evolved to get to this point. Knowing this sound and what I wanted to do and getting it to this part, probably 2012, so around three-ish years. But it wasn't for lack of trying. After Battlefield, Jive merged into RCA, so there was a whole bunch of new artists. Everybody was kind of displaced. Teams were separated. People left. People got fired. That put a pause on things.
You put out a mixtape though.
I did. Yeah, that was last year. So I was able to do that, but I moved over to Salam's label. So now I have music out. So we see how that worked out.
What the hell is Boys in the Hood about? That's interesting.
She
The
likes
whole
bad
NWA
guys.
movies out.
It's actually really crazy because I wrote Boys in the Hood 2 years ago.
Okay.
And Boys in the Hood is actually just a song describing like just boys. Like sometimes a good girl likes a bad boy. Like, okay, and it's XYZ, all these different descriptions. But
You haven't really dated a bad boy yet, though. You had Jason Derulo, Save the Gemini. He's not necessarily
This is the
bad
thing,
boy.
though. It's every girl has a boy that's bad for them. Like not bad as
Not
in
a
a horrible
thug.
person. Exactly. They just have their own definition of what bad is for them. Like what gets them to be like, oh, that's not what I would normally go for. You know what I mean?
No.
Well, okay.
What is
not
your-
for you then?
what
You
is-
wouldn't listen to Boys in the Hood and dance around anyway.
He might. You'll be
might.
Or
surprised.
maybe.
He used to
might.
dance to Pretty Girls Rock
I love
all the
Salon
time.
Memories Productions, so I probably am going to listen to this album, to be honest with you.
I hope you like it. I hope you enjoyed it.
Well, it just came out on Friday, so
Yes.
you still have time
Please.
to pick it up and
What do you
get
think
those.
of Jason Derulo dancing around in that purple suit in that damn video? The purple
What?
suit with the purple hat?
What video?
Oh, don't act like you don't know. What's the name of that song,
no,
Q?
wait, what?
Try again? Cheyenne.
Oh, I've heard the song. I haven't seen the video.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen the video.
Watching on mute. I bet you'd be like, damn, I'm glad I broke up
Oh
with her.
my God!
Stop.
Shut up! Shut up! Oh my
Album is
God!
out right now.
It's called Right Here, Right Now.
Make
Yeah.
sure you get it. We appreciate you coming up here no matter what. No
You
matter.
and your hickey.
No, thank you. It is a
It's a-
scratch.
Let me see it.
Okay.
Turn this way.
Scratch.
Oh, it does look like it
No,
is
it
a
looks like
scratch.
a
It is a
You
scratch.
have to explain it because you said you haven't seen Sage in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's a scratch.
He's been working. He's been up there coming out with I Am Sue's on tour, and then Pilo and Cool John are on tour. So he's been going out with them, and then I'm.
Who the hell
over
is
here.
Pilo and Cool John?
They're a part of the Heartbreaking. That they're all in the Bay Area.
Oh,
Y'all
gotcha,
FaceTime a lot
gotcha.
though?
Yes,
Okay.
all the time. I was on FaceTime with him this morning.
Keep
He
him
was like-
excited in bed at night. Give him a little FaceTime Tommy. I'm telling you.
He was like, "Good luck on the Breakfast Club." So.
What do you do on FaceTime with him?
I'm not telling you.
You're
that.
so
Why you always with that
disgusting, you
deep voice on?
pervert. Ew,
Why
what
you
are
making
you
love
doing?
What
Charlamagne,
are you doing, man?
Charlamagne, do you have a vagina?
This is so rude. He's gonna
Because
come
it
and
looks
beat
like-
your ass.
Rub
Beat
one
you
out
up.
right here, right now.
All right, it's the Breakfast Club. Jordin Sparks.
We almost made it. Almost made it through.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest with us today. Her album's out right now. Miss Jordin Sparks.
Jordan!
Hey, thank
She's
you.
all smiles.
So who you having sex with nowadays?
Oh, man.
shut up.
Just right into it, like just in.
You know she
Sage
has the
Gemini,
same
man.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Oh, Sage, I didn't know that.
You know that?
Charlamagne, we
Well,
went
actually,
through
no.
this.
Well, last time I was here, we hadn't said anything.
No, first of all, he's lying because he knows about this all behind the scenes because we spoke about it after that. And you were like, Sage the Gemini got Jordin Sparks?
I don't recall that one.
It was the awards. And he came up to me and he said, man, you know who I'm dating? And I'm not supposed to tell you this, but I'm so excited about it.
Damn, old
Wait,
Matt
I remember
Bond's
he
ass
told me.
got it.
Right.
Because we were trying.
He was excited. As a matter of fact, I was sitting down eating and he was outside in the window and he came inside
Damn, you
just to talk to me about Jordin
Damn,
Sparks.
don't
was-
give him none yet, Jordan.
it
Imagine
was-
what he'll do when you give him
Wait, it
too
was
late.
funny because we were trying to because people were already speculating, and I was like,
Be cool.
let's just wait for a second. And so then he called me and he was like, babe, he was like, listen, I saw Angela and I know you just sat with her, but I was talking to her and it just
was a while
you're
ago,
such a
though.
liar. That's
How did
so
you
funny.
meet Sage?
Last year I put out my mixtape and we did a song together, and I'd been a fan of his work, and somebody had asked me on Twitter what my favorite song was at the moment, and I had said Red Nose. That's like my favorite. That's
Shake it
been
like
my
a red nose.
yeah, that's been my favorite
All
song
right,
for like the
little
past
freaky
couple of years.
Can you shake it like a red nose?
I can, but
Okay.
you're not allowed to see it. So, so then we just through Twitter, which is funny. I didn't slide in his DMs. I was very professional.
Oh, you didn't slide in his DMs, okay.
I was
Do it
just
publicly.
like, hey, do you have a manager or somebody that I can contact for a feature?
Oh,
And
you
slipped, and I was like,
We
that's
were
okay.
not even talking.
Angela's cool.
Tell
It's super
Sage sit
good.
his excited ass down, man.
He's
Relax.
happy.
Act like you've been
He's
there
so
happy.
before.
excited.
We're in love. It's
He
cool.
was like,
It's
I want to
great.
tell everybody, but
Yeah,
it seemed like you
good.
were the one that wanted to keep it on the low at first, and he was ready to tell the world.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was just like, let's just wait a second because you never know what's gonna happen. And plus,
Right.
with all the celebrity stuff, it's like everybody breaks up and they're together and they break up and together. And I was like, let's just wait for a second until we were both comfortable.
You have
And
a
then-
prenup?
Huh?
Yeah, but
She's
you're
not married,
I
dummy.
mean, they wasn't married. Jason Derulo still took the call back. I just want to make sure. Is there any line?
Hey,
that
he
you
could have.
Yeah,
so he
you went
sent,
that route to try to
no,
get some.
So he sent a phone number, but didn't say like who it was, and so I was like, okay, that's probably his number. So I just gave it to Salam Remy, who's my executive
Salam.
producer. Yeah, and then we did the feature, and he came into the studio, and because I had asked him to do some more ad libs, and then that's where we met, and we were friends first, and then it kind of just.
Evolved.
How did it
Hey,
get to
round of applause to Save the Gemini. He's always meeting girls through his DMs. That's how he met
Shut
Caitlyn.
up.
Stop it,
He
man.
met
Come
Caitlyn on
stop
social
it.
media too.
Caitlyn? You said Caitlyn.
Whatever the girl name is.
Now, first of all, and you know why I know he's lying? Because I told him about this, because I saw Sage the Gemini at the BET